Can you hear me now? Oh my gosh. I was scrambling around. Now I'm all hot and sweaty. Hopefully you can hear me now. I think this thing's on. Yay! Thank you for being here. I can't believe that happened. There's got to be a sign there somewhere. All right. So the two cards that I was pulling and shuffling, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. I had to use a different camera. Um, while I was still getting you to kind of be present, two cards kind of flipped out. I didn't look at them. And then I ended up pulling another one. So the ones that flipped out while I was still talking, we have the Four of Cups and the Page of Wands. So with this Four of Cups, to me, it feels like you might be feeling you're kind of stuck where you are right now. And I think you feel logistically, you look around, you're like, no, everything, everything's working out, but it's an emotional thing. And it feels like it might be something that's coming up from the past. That might be like, a belief or something that sometimes we had something in our childhood or something like that that might be like, oh no, it's here it is again, that insecurity or something. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm picking up. And then the Page of Wands is just reminding you that you've got so many more tools in your tool belt right now that allow yourself to focus on where you feel the most stability. This to me really feels like it's a heart-centered inward journey for you. And the cards I pulled, you'll have to see it on the replay of the other live stream, but I still kind of have it here. It talked about your relationships beginning with ourselves. That was a big clue. And then I had the angel card that said that was all about love. So to me, it feels like it's definitely remembering what sparks your joy. And then the last one that came, it's a page as well. Again, this one came up for someone else. I think it was for Eli. The Page of Swords is reminding you that you can only think of the now. So you see, this raven is looking down at his own feet, seeing where his feet are planted. And when you can focus so sharply on where you are right now instead of going back to the past or going too far ahead into the future, you're going to have that stable foundation that you need going forward. So I hope that makes sense. Oof, that was just the whole ordeal of having my camera stop on me. That was my new camera. I think it got overheated or something. Maybe it's not meant for live streams. I don't know. Anchor. Oh, good. Yes. And it's interesting because everyone has their own perspective on things. Kind of like, the symbol class that we did. An anchor to some people might seem like, yeah, it's keeping you in place. An anchor to someone else might be, oh, it's dragging me. I'm not able to move. So it's all in what your perception of it is, if that makes sense. So yeah, there you go. I'll pull some more cards for the collective. If anyone here would like a card pull, and I don't know who's here from the last call who wanted a card pull, you'll have to pop it in the chat again because we're doing a whole new live. Gee, if only life were like that. Let's do a reset on life sometimes. So, but as I'm waiting for people to comment and want a card reading, I'm going to pull a few more, and I'm going back to my Light Seer Tarot deck. My comfort zone. This deck I really enjoy. Whoop. 3 cards just came plopping out. So we've got the Ace of Swords, reminding you that keep the thoughts that ascend your energy and ascend your ideas. Like you want to be aligned with what plans you have to make, but you also have to be willing to keep those thoughts in alignment with it. I think I'm jumbling my energy up here, but this is just kind of channeling from me. We got the 5 of Cups again. I think this came up 5 times between the last live stream and this one. So somebody is focused on their old story, and I say story with the most respect, because I don't mean it's you're making your story up, but if you've had struggles in the past and you need to, what this is saying is you really need to allow yourself to focus on what you want instead of what's already here. Jim Quick, if you've heard of him, I don't know if he originally came up with this, but he's the person I heard it from most, is if you fight for your limitations, you get to keep them. And it's like, man, that really hit home for me. And what I feel from that is like, when we tell our story, it's like, but this happened and that happened. But I had this issue, and you keep retelling the story over and over and over again, reminding you of what it's like, instead of letting that go. Maybe you have a complaint and you complain to a friend, and then you complain to the next friend, and then you meet someone in a grocery lineup and they're, how's your day? And you complain about this thing that happened 19 years ago and blah, blah, blah. And I have this issue, and you're just perpetuating being in that issue, being stuck there. Your energy's going down the drain when it could be focused on this beautiful cup of wonderful colored elixir of life that's going to give you just what you need, right? Hey, Eli. Yeah, I know. That's like the 3rd time, right? He's been here since the beginning, and it's like jeepers creepers. So it's really allowing yourself to honor where you were, but stop bringing it up. You don't need to keep bringing it up. You don't need to have that part of your pre-story. We don't need the prequel anymore. Start coming across from who you are right this minute. That's all I can say. And the next card that came is the Queen of Swords. And she's just like, yeah, I'm focused on the future. And if you know the Rider-Waite, she's looking at the future and she's pointing like this. She's pointing like, this is where I'm going. These are the thoughts that I have. This is what's going to get me there. She's slicing through that mucky, unknown future like a hot knife through butter. And that's the way of it. That's what's going to help you get through things. So there's a lot of swords. We go from ace to queen, not king. So what I'm picking up intuitively from that, it's like, honor that feminine side of things. We don't have to be harsh with our words because we're trying to come across in a way that feels more aligned. And I'm not saying masculine energy is harsh either. Sometimes it's just quick and to the point. Feminine energy is more of that feeling first and figuring out how to say it second. I don't know if that makes sense. And then another one flipped over. Ooh, changing it up. We got some wands energy. So 8 of Wands. And I always see these as someone has struck. Get it together, Lorraine. Someone struck a match, and it's helping to light all the other fuses that are around it. So, and I take this as a good thing. It's like those thoughts that you have, like initially having those thoughts, that planting that seed, that idea, that inspiration, this is the epitome of that big, bright idea. But you have to give it fuel in order for it to have what it takes to move forward. And that's where this 8 of Wands comes in. And it's really trusting and allowing the actions you take to accumulate to the point where it's actually moving you forward. And it's not moving you forward with a lot of speed unless everything you do is aligned. Like this card in the Rider-Waite is usually not swords, 8 wands all going in the same direction. And that's where you get, that's where you're aerodynamic. That's where things really flow and you're using your energy so much more efficiently. You're not getting in your head. That's not dragging you back or making you go slower. You are aligned. Your heart, your head, and your actions are all in alignment. And I will say, you can't sustain that. Let's be real. You can't sustain it. And that's part of life. But take it and do it while you have it. And as things dissipate and you kind of slow down, that's where you recharge. That's where you have that time to yourself. That's where you have your quiet time and get back to your relationship for yourself. And then you do it all over again with even more enthusiasm and energy. So I don't know who needed to hear that, but I think I needed to hear that. So anyone else that's here want a reading, pop it in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to say sayonara, and we'll see you again for the Tuesday live at 11 a.m. Pacific. I'm going to do my best, pinky promise, to do my best to be there for that, barring any technical difficulties. So thanks so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you have a super day. Monday is the beginning of autumn, so get your pumpkin spice latte or not on, and yeah, we'll see you Tuesday. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Yeah. Peace out, everybody.